Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a simple but still fun eyeshadow look with some really glowy skin. We're going to go ahead and jump right in by starting on the eyes. Of course, putting down some tape and a little bit of the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And then I'm jumping into the Makeup Revolution Patricia Bright. This is the Rich in Color palette using the shade Elegant, which for me is kind of a skin tone shade just to even everything out. And then I am taking the Meech and Mia pressed eyeshadow in Taupe just through the crease. And I'm really just doing this to give the lid a little bit more definition. So I'm really only running that through the crease and on the outer V. I don't want to add a ton of color, just want to add a little dimension. Then we're going to go ahead and pop on some winged liner. Today I'm using my favorite, as always, until it runs out, the Ipsy and Buddy Boop Drawn to You liner. And I am just going to do a really simple little wing here. And really the fun part is going to be a little pop of color in our inner corner later on. So for right now, I'm just blinding myself by getting liquid eyeliner in my eye, and I'm just keeping it really simple. Once we have that liner on, we're going to go ahead and peel off our tape and move on to the face, starting by priming, of course, with the Too Faced Hangover Face Primer. And this is just a really hydrating primer. And I actually got it as a sample in my Ipsy, and I loved it and just haven't bought it since I ran out of my last one, so it was nice to get a little one again, and I really do love it. And then once that's all blended into our face, we're going to pop on some foundation. I am once again using the e.l.f. Moisturizing Stick Foundation. I also forgot how much I loved this. It's super affordable, but it also just gives really, really great coverage, and it is super easy to work with. I'm gonna go ahead and just blend that out with a sponge, and I'm going to be using this under the eyes as well. And to do that, I like to just warm it up with my finger because it is a little bit, like it will pull at your skin a little bit, and I don't want to do that under my eyes. So I'm just going to get some of the product on my finger and then place it under my eyes. And then, of course, using a brush to blend up into those very inner corners and a sponge to blend out under the rest of the eye. Once that is all blended out, we're of course going to set the face with the Coty Airspun powder, my very favorite. Lots of favorites in this video. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and set down the whole face. I always like to start with my under eyes, and then I just kind of move on to the rest of my face. Once it's all set down, we're going to go ahead and bronze with the Becca. This is the Sunrise Waves bronzer. And just doing the typical places, under the cheekbones, temples, across the forehead, and then taking it on a smaller brush for my nose, just to warm up the center of the face a little bit. And because it is a little bit strong, I'm going to just buff out the bronzer so there's no harsh lines or anything. Then I'm going to just touch up our eyeshadow from where it may have gotten messed up with the concealer, just in that very inner corner. And then I'm going to blend that same taupe shade under my eyes, just on a little short kind of dense shader brush. And I'm really just buffing that all along the lower lash line. I'm going to go ahead and do our brows really quick. Again, using the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Gel in the shade Deep Brown. And I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I typically just take a little angled brush and dip that onto the wand of the product, because otherwise you really get way too much product. So that's what I recommend. Then we're going to go ahead and blush with the Ciate Glow 2 Illuminating Blush. This one is in the shade Pinch Me, and it just gives kind of a really pretty glowy kind of flush to the face. Not too strong, but a little bit of color and a little bit of glow, which is what we're going for. Going to just lightly buff out the edges there, and then we're going to jump back to do our inner corner on our eyes. Again, going back to that Rich in Color palette and using the shade Ocean Deep. I was really debating on doing maybe pink or yellow, but this blue just speaks to me. So I'm taking it on a little small fluffy blending brush And I'm really just kind of placing my product, getting the edges nice and blended out with this brush. And then I'm actually going to take my finger with that same color and I'm just going to pat it on top of the spot I just kind of blended out, just to really build up the color. Then I am going to use the ColourPop. This is one of their Super Shock highlighters in Flexitarian. It's a very white highlight. And I'm going to put that under my, under my brows, on my brow bone. And then I am just going to take it on a really small brush and just place it on the inner corners. It really ended up just pulling the shadow off more than it was depositing the highlight, so I found it better to just use the highlight on my finger and just pat it right over top of that blue shade. And this softens the blue, so it's not quite as bright, and it also gives it kind of a neon glow look, which I really loved. We're going to go ahead and highlight the rest of our face using the OFRA Star Island highlighter. And of course, I'm going to just put that in all my typical places. So on my cheekbones, down the bridge of my nose, and then some on my Cupid's bow, and then just a little bit on my chin and my forehead. And like I said at the beginning, I really wanted to do kind of a glowy skin look, so I'm really going to build it up on those cheekbones and the nose. And then I wanted the brow bone highlight to match the rest of my face just a little bit more, so I blended a little bit there as well. And then just set the whole face down with some of the NYX Bear With Me spray. And while I was letting that dry, I went ahead and cleaned the foundation off of my lips. And I'm just applying the Grande Hydrating Lip Plumper while we do our eyelashes so our lips get hydrated. I'm going to start by curling them and then applying some of the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara, another favorite. And then once our mascara is on, we're going to go ahead and pop on some false lashes. Today I'm using the Red Cherry lashes. These are the Nude Onyx lashes. And they're not super dramatic. I didn't want something super dramatic since we have a pretty simple eye, but they just add a little bit of length and volume. We are going to be doing 2 lip options for today's video. The first one is the Lime Crime Diamond Crusher, and this one is in the shade Unicorn Queen. And it's this gorgeous kind of duochromy pink, purpley blue shade. And I think this is gorgeous, very bold, kind of spacey, space vibes from it. But I know that a lot of people don't like really bold makeup, so I did want to give you another option as well. So I'm going to take that off and pop on some of the Gigi Gorgeous lip gloss in the shade Get Into It, which is just kind of a shimmery pink gloss. And then with that on, that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And also don't forget to share with your friends. It helps me out a ton. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.